with the flow.
Can't forget about Coach Bergen. Of course. And if you don't got Coach Bergen, you ain't got shit.
What's up, Coach Bergen here, and welcome to the Coach Bergen Show, episode 42. Today's guest is back again for a second time, Vinnie Kray. Hey, here we go.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Good, I'm just making some coffee real quick.
That's all right, man.
But how's your day going so far? What are you up to?
Oh, yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, just, been busy, just, running errands. Probably going to hit the gym after this,
All right, cool. So did you have, you had some important matches that just happened recently, correct?
Yeah, man, I just went back to the US for my second time.
Okay, where in the US did you go?
I went back to Florida. Last month, went back to Florida.
Okay.
Wrestled for my third promotion out there, so that was a great time.
Nice. And how did that go? Who'd you wrestle with?
Oh, that was Florida Pro Wrestling. Big shout out to them. Gave me an opportunity.
Florida Pro Wrestling. All right. Florida Pro Wrestling. Who did you wrestle against, though?
Blake Banks. Had a really good match with Blake Banks.
Okay. Cool. All right. So tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a great time, man. It was a bit of a last minute thing. I'd wanted to go back to the US for a couple of years. Finally got the opportunity with the right time and everything. Went back out there. It was kind of last minute. There was a show on during the time I was there with Florida Pro Wrestling. It looked like a great place to work for. I reached out to them. I came down the night before the show at Tanner's Lakeside. Brilliant venue, really beautiful venue. Helped out. First time setting up a six-sided ring. First time in a six-sided ring. Felt like old school TNA days.
Oh, okay. So kind of like TNA.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome.
And
those are a lot more rare.
Yeah.
Excited.
There are a couple about, but I rarely see a six-sided ring. But yeah, we've got like a couple in the British scene. But yeah, that was my first time in one.
Okay. So what was that like? How does it feel different? Like obviously there's more sides, but how does that impact the way that you wrestle?
It's funny because I thought it would be so different, but for the most part it was alright. It's just there was one point where it's like, shit, what rope do I go to? Because in the normal ring you've always got.
Oh yeah, because you're always going across, but now you have six, so it's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of options.
Yeah, because like you can go right from the ropes straight across into a turnbuckle into the corner, and then right, like it's not just always directly across rope to rope, right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
I think in like a singles match, for the most part, it's not too different. But with like say multi-man matches and tag matches and things like, I guess it gives you more dimensions, more things you can do.
Yeah, for sure. And I imagine it would probably be easier to stand on too. But I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't go to the top rope.
You didn't try. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So how did that match end up going? Did you ended up winning?
No, I got screwed.
What happened?
Well, I got the Americans behind my very British catchphrase, I'm going to bang you in the mouth, and I finally landed the bang in the mouth, the smack in the mouth. Went for the pin, he's rolled out. I've grabbed him, thrown him back in, we've done the whole, referee's distracted, he's kicked the rope. I've been basically low blowed, he's rolled me up, got his feet on the ropes, Eddie Guerrero style. And,
okay.
But yeah,
gotcha.
I was happy to get the opportunity, and I was to be out there doing it,
It sounds like a fun experience. And,
I love traveling. I love getting out to new places and stuff. I love the American scene. I love how it compares to like the British scene. It's a really interesting difference after doing the British scene for so long. And if I could do it all the time, I would.
Yeah. So how does it differ from from wrestling in the UK compared to the US? How did that feel different?
Oh, it's so sort of lively and so interactive, and like I think that there's like a difference in what you can get away with saying. You know, like over here we've got a strict line between your family shows and like your over 18 shows, whereas over there it's almost like it kind of blends. You know, there's a limit, but you know.
Okay. Yeah, the lines are a little more blurry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get that. All right. So, do you have any important matches coming up?
Yeah. On the 7th of February with DOA Wrestling. Big shout out to DOA Wrestling. I've been doing a lot of work with them recently. I'm actually on TV once a week now on Extreme Sports. And
Nice.
it's already available globally, but it's specifically coming over to America soon via Amazon Fire. So it's
Awesome.
American audience to be able to catch up with DOA, dynamic over-the-top action wrestling based out of Cambridgeshire in England. I've got a big match coming up. Can't spoil too much, but it's it can be a very big night on February 7th.
All right. So, February 7th. Got it. And then, where did you say people can catch your show?
On Extreme Sports via the Channel Box app. I'm sure we could put links to all this.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. I'll add in a link. Okay, cool. That's awesome. How did you get started with that?
I've been wrestling for DOA for a little while. I was the Adrenaline Division champion at the time. I know last time I did the interview with you, I had the 2 belts. I just got the 1 now, but I had a great run as Adrenaline Division champion, and lost that. During that time, we got the TV deal, and with Extreme Sports, and we started off with shows that had already happened, shows that had already taken place being aired, and now we're just doing it live. You know, we do like matinee shows, evening shows. We record a couple of shows in one day. You know, everything gets broken down, and I've had a chance to put a bit of creative input into some of the ideas backstage. You know, like because I've always loved the whole TV element of wrestling. You know, the whole backstage side of things, storyline type things, advertisements, trailers, packages. That's always been my cup of tea as a fan. So it's great to have the chance to be sort of involved in the input of that now. You know,
That's great. So, did you always have like that spark for it, or did you just realize that you had it and you enjoyed it?
like for TV or
Yeah. I know you said you've always been interested in it, but have you always been interested in creating for it?
yeah, that's always been the side of it that like I've been really interested in, like the sort of video side of it, you know, the storyline side of it, the psychology side of it, just telling a really good story, you know. So I think I'd always happy, like when I got back into watching wrestling around 2010 during the TNA days, and the TNA reaction on afterwards, and it was very storyline driven, and it all felt very real, and it was that's always been my cup of tea, wrestling wise. You know.
All right. So Savage Combat Sports Media says, does he fancy a spotted treat? I don't know if that's offensive or not.
Spotted treat. I think
what's a spotted treat?
I don't even know, man. I think it's some British dessert treat or something like that, probably.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's get into some other fan questions. When did you realize pro wrestling was more than just fandom for you?
I think I realised I wanted to give it a try. I'd always been into like, you know, lifting weights and things like that. And I think I wanted to give it a try one day. I was like in my young adulthood. I was in that place where I wanted to just try something else. Saw like an advertisement, looked it up, found out it was free, and just tried it out. I think after the first session I was just hooked, you know, like I just fell in love with it from there. You know.
I remember you telling me this story. Yeah, you saw like a literal sign, and then you went and you tried it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, what moment made you believe that you belonged in the ring?
I mean, like I say, from the first session and from the first time on a show onwards, I was just, you know, it's hard to replicate that sort of buzz with anything else. It's hard to really, you know, get that elsewhere, you know. Like, as corny as it may sound, like I feel wrestling and being up there with your character on a show, it really makes you feel like someone where you might not always feel like somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it gives you like a identity, you know, purpose, and especially as the years go by with, like, you know, coaching newer people or coaching juniors and stuff like that, and just being involved in every aspect of the business. That just, yeah, it'd be hard to imagine life without it, you know.
Yeah. So how many years have you been in the sport?
I think getting on about 10 years ago now since I started. I had
Okay.
like a 14-month break over the pandemic. I've had the odd couple of months here and there with an injury, touch wood, that's been, you know, not for a long time yet. But yeah, overall I started training in January 2014.
Okay. January of 2014. So
A
about
little
12
longer.
years ago. Yeah. All right, cool. Who was the first wrestler that made you say, I want to do that?
Oh, I mean, growing up, it was all the classics like The Rock and Austin and Hogan and Sting and DDP. I started watching during the WCW days, and you know, definitely a lot of those guys. And when I got back into it, I think AJ Styles was a big one for me, and a lot of the TNA guys I used to watch, you know, like Kazarian, you know, Magnus, who I've met. Yeah, a lot of them.
And then R-Truth, right? He was another guy that started in TNA. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, during that era.
Elijah Burke, the Pope, I met him recently. When
Yep.
I went to America, I had the chance to go backstage at an NWA TV taping, shook hands with a few people, including him. So, yeah,
Oh,
he was
nice.
watch
Nice. That's cool.
that.
So I guess you're going to have to wrestle in the ring next.
Great. I'd love an opportunity like that, man.
Yeah,
100%, man. Let's keep climbing, you
we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. All right. What's the hardest part of being a pro wrestler that fans never see?
Oh, I'd say, yeah, there is sometimes, depending on where you are, depending on where you go, that it can be quite cutthroat and it can be quite, you know, like anything, like any business, any job, it can be a bit, you know, dog eat dog or whatever. I think when you've been doing it as long as I have, like it can take its toll on, like if I'm sitting down for way too long or standing up for too long, you know, you get the aches and pains and things like that, you know. And the stigma of like, well, it's not real, you know, like it, so then people don't necessarily understand or empathise or sympathise with what goes into it, you know. It's yeah,
They
it's
don't see the value in it as much.
yeah,
You're like, oh, it's not even real. But the pain's real. You're actually wrestling, and yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. All right. So speaking of real, leads us perfectly into the next question. Very, very, very weirdly, actually. The next
yeah.
one is, how much of Vinnie Kray is real, and how much is turned up for the ring?
Well, that's a good question, man. Like, I feel it's yeah. Usually, like the best sort of characters are like, you know, yourself amped up to 20. And, like, I feel it's maybe an over exaggerated version of myself when I was younger, because you know I'm a likely lad in many ways. I'm a typical lad, and you know when I was younger, you know, might have been a bit of a dickhead sometimes. But then as I've got older, I've matured. But then, you know, like, yeah, it's just an amped up, turned up version of myself when I was younger. And yeah, a lot of things that write themselves, like the whole Kray City thing, it just, you know, things that came about over time, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I remember having somebody tell me, and I want to say it was Brother Bedlam that told me this, that it's basically when you're wrestling, you're your own personality, but it's cranked up from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that kind of where you feel your wrestling persona is too? Where you kind of just
like a surprise with me sometimes, because they say that, you know, I come across very differently, you know, I'm very polite and not the loudest person in the world, and then totally the opposite on the show. But yeah,
yeah.
anyone who knows me really well, or anyone who's known me a long time knows, yeah, it's just an amped up version, I suppose, you know.
Okay. All right. An over the top version from who you were young at your younger stage, you were saying.
Yeah.
You know, clearly you're a nice guy, you know, but like you play more of a heel, right?
Yeah, until recently. Yeah, like I've been a heel for like years, and then they sort of had to turn me face after a while, you know, because the catchphrases and everything was just getting over, and the songs.
People were liking you too much.
Huh?
Yeah, because people liked you too much.
Yeah, without being without coming off like arrogant, yeah, and I was, certain things were just getting over, like the bang in the mouth. I've got like a bit of a song, a bit of a football chant they all sing, and it was
Yeah.
just, people just enjoyed it. So yeah, it's funny now because back in the day I tried to be like a actual baby face, and it was kind of lukewarm and didn't really connect. And then when I've gone as heel as I can possibly go, ultimately I ended up being face. So even now when I'm face, I'm still with the sort of character you'd expect to be a heel. So it's funny how different things work for different people.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And then at different times too. It's all in the timing as well.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite type of crowd? The loud cheers or the loud boos?
Oh, it's got to be loud cheers, isn't it? I'm happy with loud anything. Like anything.
Loud anything. Yeah, you just want the reaction.
Yeah, I like a bit of a challenge sometimes with a crowd as well. Funnily enough, like, some people hate doing the sort of shows where there's not necessarily a wrestling crowd, but sometimes I kind of like, because I feel like if you can connect with people like that and you can get a reaction out of people like that, you can get a reaction out of anybody.
Right, right. You mean like if it's like more casual fans as opposed to the people who are regularly, following it?
Yeah, or going to like a new town or a new city or something, or yeah, or
Okay.
like some sort of public setting where there's a lot of people watching that aren't necessarily wrestling fans. Like I like a challenge like that sometimes.
Yeah, I see that. I see that because you're then you're kind of, I guess, learning on the fly how to adapt to that specific audience, right?
Yeah.
To be able to market yourself to them, to be able to sell yourself to them to where they're like believing this character that you're, acting as. And, all right. So it seems like it helps you be able to relate to more people, which will then help you overall to relate to even more.
That's it, yeah, and I think my character is quite relatable in a way. Like I think the way I act and stuff, I feel like everybody knows someone a little bit like that. And like I feel when I'm a heel, my job is to make people want to see me get beaten up, and when I'm a face, my job is to make people want to see me beat someone up.
Yeah. So you get the best of both.
Yeah. Depending on how I'm booked. Yeah.
All right. Have you ever been legitimately hurt, but you had to finish the match anyway?
Yeah. Years ago, I had someone sort of land funny, like on my foot. I had a broken foot in the end. I didn't know about it till the next day. Like, I get very, very high adrenaline, like I get very nervous before I go out, and then very, very, very high energy and high adrenaline when I am out. And then, like, it'll take me all night to calm down, I won't sleep. But then, like the next day I can feel the injuries. And there was one time a few years ago I had a broken foot and finished the match with it. Didn't even know it was broken.
Oh, wow. How did you realize it was broken? Just from the adrenaline coming down and the pain coming in?
Yeah, I mean, because it wasn't my first rodeo, I know when it's broken, like the next day it'll be swollen and it'll be discoloured and bruised, and that's when.
Okay, so you've broken your foot before then?
Yeah, well, I've broken other bones before, Like touch wood, it's been a long time since I had an injury. Like since I came back after 18 months away over the pandemic, I came back in May 2021, and touch wood, I've had no actual real like incapacitating injuries. I had like a little fracture in the tip of the finger, and that was it. But nothing that stopped me working, nothing that put me out. So I'm very, like I do things different now. Like I focus a lot on like character stuff and telling a story, and doing less with more. And I work a lot smarter now. And it took me a while to understand as well that like I said earlier, like it's funny how different things work for different people. For me, no one wants to see me do anything flippy. No one really wants to see me do a dive. With somebody else, they'll want to see that. But with me, like I said, they want to see me either get beaten up or beat someone up, and they like the catchphrases and the character stuff. And I just sort of understand now that's more my bread and butter. So I focus on that, and I work safe. And I don't ask anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself. And touch wood, I've gone a long time without an injury. And I pride myself on that.
Well, that's good. Why do you think that you doing like the high flying stuff doesn't connect as well?
Yeah, I mean, well, for one, it wasn't my strength, but
okay, so that's probably why.
I can do it. I can do certain things. I can, like head scissors and things like that, like and dives. I mean, I'm not the best at it, but I can do it. But I just, it wasn't my strongest point. But also, I just think, people look at you and they want something from you. You know what I mean? Like if a lucha comes out or a smaller lucha sort of guy comes out with a cape, they're going to want a certain thing. You know, when I come out, they want a certain thing. It took me a while to see myself the way other people see me, almost as well. You know, and the character and stuff like that.
Got it. So, who would you, I guess, compare your character to, if you had to compare it to somebody that's, you know, WWE, like, you know, whether past or present?
Comparing it to an existing wrestler is harder, but to compare it to anyone is, like I say, he's like a real, like a London. Like I'm from just outside of London. My character's very like London geezer, brawler, gangster. Obviously, the last name is Kray, and like it's loosely sort of, you know, connected to, you know. There's a, I don't know how popular he is in America, but there's a celebrity over here called Danny Dyer. Like, sometimes people say I sound a bit like him, like my accent gets a bit thicker maybe when I've had a beer or something. But yeah. To compare him to like certain wrestlers, John Moxley a little bit with his sort of swagger and, you know, the way he comes in through the crowd and stuff. Is a bit of a rogue kind of, you know. I don't know if I could compare myself to like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, because obviously.
Right. What about like William Regal? Like, I only say that because he was from UK, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't think, like, I respect William Regal, obviously, as, you know, like, one of the best to do it. But, no, I think that's a different type of British character. It's why I was excited to go to America as well, because what they know as the British character is always that royal, posh kind of, you know, cup of tea and biscuits sort of that sort of British style, whereas I'm a totally different sort of a British style wrestler to what maybe the Americans are familiar with. So like more of a blue collar sort of a character. So
all right.
To see how they react to that as well, you know.
So that's where you got more relatability going in as well, because William Regal had kind of like a better than you type of vibe, you know, like a royalty kind of thing going. And you're more of an everyday kind of person, you know, and not trying to, I don't know, you don't seem like you're trying to be royalty.
Yeah, no, he portrays like one British stereotype that we know, and I'm almost portraying another British stereotype that we know, where he's like the posh kind of royalty sort of, you know, better than you kind of person, and I'm more like a brawler, like a geezer, like almost like a football lad, or like a, you know. Like, yeah, it's just two different typical British characters, really. Yeah.
Okay. So Savage Combat Sports Media, they're the ones that asked about, do you fancy a spotted treat? They said that's a UK dessert.
Right, I thought it was. Yeah, that's it. They know the UK desserts better than I do.
Yeah, I don't know what's in it or what it tastes like, but I don't know. I guess he's offering you a UK dessert.
No, I'm bulking, so, you know.
Yeah.
But I still try to steer clear from, you know, try to eat as clean as I can, even when I'm bulking. But, you know, next time.
Absolutely, you got to protect the body. You know.
Yeah.
All right. What's the one move you're most proud of executing perfectly?
I'm really proud of my Kray cutter, because, I mean, a lot of people hit like an RKO out of nowhere and stuff, and it's very popular. Cutters are very popular. But I feel like mine, I've really made it my own, put my own stamp on it. Where like I always hit it from standing. We're stood there. I could send you a couple of clips of this. And you know, I hook them in, and then we just drop like a guillotine. You know what I mean? My legs go up, and like it looks like a different kind of move because my legs are right up, and I'm proud of how I've taken something that quite a lot of people do and have done over a long period of time. I feel like no one does it exactly the way mine looks. I feel like mine looks quite unique, so I'm quite proud of that.
All right. Let's cut to a clip. Let's go to the next one. Who do you study most when watching old or current matches?
Oh, that's a good one, man. I think like Vampiro from WCW was very good to look at like intricate, technical things. Um, for like crowd work and engaging everybody, I think it's hard to find someone better than Hulk Hogan. Um, it's definitely those two for different reasons,
All right. What's your pre-match ritual before walking through the curtain?
Oh, take a deep breath, might hum a little bit because the last thing I want to go out there and shout and put up my voice. Like I've done that a couple of times. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before to anyone, but like sometimes, man, like I'll say a quick prayer, man. But I don't get hurt, no one else gets hurt, and they stay safe.
All right. Coach Bergen exclusive right there. Cool. What separates you from everyone else chasing the same spotlight?
Oh, I mean, I think I go the extra mile to make things happen. I consider myself quite self-made. I've wrestled in 3 different countries now. In the United States twice for 3 separate promotions unrelated to each other, and they're not things that sort of fell in my lap. I wasn't sort of born with like really lucky like connections and things like that. I've gone and made things happen for myself. I've gone very, very far by myself. I've been very proactive in just making things happen. Like not to say I haven't sort of been offered some brilliant opportunities as well and had people offer a hand to help me as well. But I consider myself someone who goes the extra mile. You know what I mean? Like, and I take pride in that.
All right. So your work ethic is what defines you. And going above and beyond.
My ability to, I did at one point spend a long time just going around in the same circle in the same local scene, and like if I got out of that and branched out, like that's my ability to do that as well. I think has done me a lot of good as well, and I've gained a lot from that too. It's just not being small-minded and branching out there.
All right. So Wrestle Immortal asked this question: how did it feel getting the shiz beat out of you at Immortal Wrestling Presents Blizzard Blitz? Is that an ad that you're giving me right now?
Great sense of humor, Jay. Right, runs Immortal. I mean, even though it's asked a question like that, big shout out to Immortal Wrestling for giving me an opportunity last month. I made my debut for them last month. I've wanted to debut for them for a while. It was great fun. I might have lost against Damien, but but they're not entertained, you know what I mean? Like, every single person in the crowd was engaged, and sometimes you got to get the shit beaten out of you. So sometimes, it's not all about whether or not you got the shit beaten out of you. Sometimes it's about whether or not the match was a success, and I took one for the team that day.
All right. Well, you can't win them all, and really, I think it's all about the overall benefit to the show and the production of it and the promotion, et cetera, to keep the business going. And then it also helps to add more depth into your character and whatever, because now you have another potential feud storyline and whatever that can come out of it. And
on a serious one, like at first you think about your own self a lot, and and you've got to think about what you want and what you want to achieve. But like after a while, you get more of a broader understanding of like the show and everything, and you want everyone to do well because then the whole show does well. And you think of you start to be selfless in that way sometimes, and you don't have to take one for the team, or you don't have to, you come up with an idea or something, you think actually it'd work better for them, or it'd work better in their match. And, it all comes with learning over time,
All right. So they ask now, also, when will you come to terms Kray City doesn't exist?
That's complete slander, man. I can't believe this.
I've heard of Kray City. I've never heard of Wrestle Immortal, but I've heard of Kray City.
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean? It's in Mayor. Right? If Kray City's not real, how do you explain that? It wouldn't exist, bro.
All right, and then they just said, loved having you, buddy. You were a great pleasure working with you. You were fantastic.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, yeah. Really appreciate the opportunity from Jay White and all the rest of the I'm due to go back later this year, and I can't wait, man. It was great fun down there.
What was it like at Immortal Wrestling? Who did you compete against? I know you just said it, but I forgot.
Yeah, I had a great time. It was against a wrestler called Damien, that's quite well known in the UK. My first chance I'd had to wrestle with him. I really enjoyed that. I was the heel again, so it was interesting. I haven't played heel in a little while. We were the second match, and we just got him riled up. He's really good with like character stuff and crowd work stuff, and as am I. And we just went back and forth. It was one of them where the bell didn't ring and we didn't start wrestling for quite some time because we were just getting them going. So yeah, it was good fun, you know.
Okay, and it ended up not going in your favor. It sounds like because
No, in the
yeah,
end, you know, like I say, you got to take off the team sometimes, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But thanks,
It
yeah.
happens. It happens. So they just said self-appointed mayor. It was great, really. I don't know what do they mean by self-appointed mayor.
I don't know what I mean by that because I definitely
Okay,
practiced the
I
elected.
wasn't sure if that was a reference to the storyline. But all right, cool. So I don't know. You're just a self-appointed mayor and some storyline in the future now.
In fact, you know, we mentioned DOA wrestling. I won the for the year of 2024. I was newcomer of the year. I didn't even know the vote was taking place. I didn't ask anyone to vote, and I was democratically elected. So I'm democratically.
Nice. Okay. All right. All right. I like it. I like it. And then now you're the self-appointed mayor. Perfect. Um, so what promotion would be a dream stage for you to compete on? And I know everybody will probably say WWE. So outside of that, what would be a promotion that would be a dream stage for you?
Yeah, obviously going out to America, like the obvious ones would be TNA, AEW, WWE. I've been doing a lot of training and just focusing on the training at this stage at London School of Wrestling, based in Tottenham, and that's a training school that belongs to Revolution Pro Wrestling, which is pretty much the biggest or one of the biggest in the UK. It's a huge promotion. It's the closest thing to WWE we've got here, as far as our own British independent.
And what is it called? Revolution Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, or Red Pro for short. Yeah.
Okay, Red Pro. Rev
Yeah.
Pro. Rev Pro. Oh, I follow them. I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they're not hard to find. Yeah, they're pretty big. All the big names, yeah, they'll be there. You know, it's a bit
Yeah, they
like
sounded familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Big
Um,
you know.
yeah. All right, cool. How do you handle the mental side when momentum slows down?
You just keep busy. You know what I mean? You have to make a lifestyle out of it. You know, no matter what level you're at. You know, you have to from the moment you get up to literally what you eat every day, what you drink every day, going to the gym every day, getting your steps in every day. Like you got to live it. You know, as long as you're living it, as long as you yourself don't stop or slow momentum, I think you're always going to be heading in a positive direction. You know.
That's true. You just got to keep moving forward and keep that momentum.
Yeah.
All right. What was your welcome to wrestling moment?
Oh, I think it was like a rumble where yeah, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but yeah, in a rumble sometimes you get like a initiated, you know, people just chopping each other and hitting each other's arms again, and you know you got to hold your own, and I think that was kind of a bit of a welcome to wrestling. But I lasted a long time in there and held my own. You know, I learned very early on, you know, however hard they hit you, you hit them back just as hard, you know.
Right, right. They call it a receipt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be
All
one
right.
career all these years.
Do you prefer storytelling matches or all-out physical wars?
Well, both are great. And excuse me, that time of year.
You good?
But yeah, I can sit and watch all different types of wrestling. You know, all flippy stuff and everything like that. But for me personally, I'm very big on storytelling. Like that's definitely my favorite kind of thing. I think that's why I love the whole TV side of wrestling quite a lot. You know, because I love telling a good story. I feel like that's what separates wrestling from all other combat-based sports. You know.
Yeah, the storylines. I mean, because that's really, I think that's what keeps the attention. Really, is not necessarily the match, but the story behind why that match is important.
Yeah, it gives people a reason to invest. You know. Whereas you can watch matches where it's all very spectacular, very flippy, but there's no necessarily depth or story or reason to get invested, you know. So I think it's good to have a mix of both, you know.
All right. Who gave you the most important advice early in your career?
Oh, there's probably a few, you know. I saw very early on, you know, be professional and be different, and I think just that advice has stayed with me for the most part. You know, I think perception is reality. I think if things look professional and things look right, you know, that's the most important thing. You know.
Have you ever doubted continuing, and what pulled you back in?
The only time I've ever sort of had them sort of thoughts was during the 18 months away I had over the pandemic. Basically, before the pandemic, I was sort of at a bit of a loss. I was, going around in the same circle, and I was not necessarily happy. I didn't have access to a vehicle for a bit, so I was a bit stuck where I was. I probably should have just had a break, but like I was going around the same circle for a little while, and then I had the break over the pandemic, which I'm glad happened because it gave me the break I probably wouldn't have given myself. Because in my mind, I was just keeping going with it and going because I felt like I didn't want to waste the time. But I sort of learned the hard way that like that is wasting the time to sort of carry on when really you just need to pull back from it. And yeah, it was during that time over the pandemic, like when I took some time out of it after all them years, that I thought, well, what if I didn't come back, because I had been that unhappy with it, but with where I was. But the thing that sort of pulled me back into it was eventually I just came to that conclusion of like, I know that I've got more to offer. I know that there's loads more that I can still offer that I can do that I haven't done yet, and that's mainly what kept me coming back. And then when I came back, I came to Square One, UW, based out of Hitchin, and that became like my new home. And yeah, they gave me a lot from there. Like this picture where that's the day I won the belt up there. That's the belt I still got. Renamed it the Kray City belt. I gained a lot from UW and Square One, and from there it just a couple of different countries, wrestling all over the country now, wrestling on TV on a regular basis, and yeah, never look back. So yeah.
Okay. So, like that picture behind you, I knew it was you, but because of the way the camera is working, it's like opposite. So it's almost backwards. I don't know how to explain it, like flipped screen. So it's like spelling your name backwards. And so it like I couldn't tell that it was Vinnie Kray until you just pointed it out now. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because like completely backwards, it looks kind of like Yarn Jimmy. It kind of looks like Yarn Jimmy.
Yeah. I saw a picture of a different wrestler up there.
Yeah, but I knew that was you, so it was weird.
I just realised when I looked at it as well, it's like a mirror where like it, yeah.
Yeah, right, like a mirror. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, cool. If you could feud with anyone, past or present, who would it be and why?
I think me and Stone Cold would be a bit like, the Undertaker and Sting. I think that would be quite explosive. I might have even said that on the last podcast, I can't remember. But yeah, like anyone like that with Sting himself, like that, that'd be awesome. Yeah, just someone I could tell a good story with, I think, like also someone who's a big character person as well. Like anything like that, I'm always a big fan of doing.
All right, so you want something very storyline driven and very over the top and exciting, for sure. Yeah. All right. What do you think fans misunderstand most about the business?
I think, like I said, the toll it takes on your body, the amount that goes into it, the amount that you have to make it happen for yourself. Yeah, like just the amount that goes into like the 5-10 minutes they see, it'd be like a 10, 12, 14-hour day when you consider travel and everything else and setting up and practicing and training. And if you've got a particularly big match, then you might have trained and practiced things for hours before that for like a particular spot or a particular big finish, big ending. So yeah, I think it's things like that people don't realise. They see the 5-10 minutes and they don't realise all the other countless hours and weeks and months.
A lot of time goes into it just for people to see, a small glimpse of it. It's kind of like, makes me think of like the iceberg effect, where you only see a little bit of the iceberg, but 90% of it is underwater, which like kind of represents all the work and effort and, dedication and good choices and staying away from bad habits and whatever bad situations and, all of the positive stuff that helps to build it together, just so people can see that little bit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you put it best.
All right, who do you want standing across from you 5 years from now?
Oh, anyone on the Red Pro roster, I'll be happy with.
All right.
Yeah, man, and like I definitely want to go back to America. So yeah, any big name out there, like bring it on.
What motivates you when nobody's watching?
I think just having them goals and just having long-term goals and long-term ideals to work towards. In the short-term sense, like just plugging in, put some music in my headphones is like very good to just get me going, get me up in the morning, get me out jogging, stuff like that. And yeah, just working towards, I've always got something like big, like America, or like a big title match or a big show or something that I'm working towards. And I think always having something like that is another reason why I find it difficult to imagine life without wrestling. Because having something like that keeps you going, like some sort of big thing that you're looking forward to. That everything, all your training, diet, everything is all going into that moment. Like that was after 6 weeks of cutting, for example. If I didn't constantly have that moment in my head, like it would have been harder to achieve that.
Yeah. And, because you achieved that, now you can always have that. Like, that's always going to exist.
Immortalized.
And,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah, because it's not like you can, it's not like you can lose that moment from ever happening from you winning the title. Like, that was definitely a
Yeah,
big
it's
achievement. And,
written in history. Yeah.
yeah,
Like when you
so,
go on like Google AI and you put in who is Vinnie Kray, and it says British professional wrestler, has wrestled in America, done this and that, done work for National Expert Society, and it's a friend of mine said to me, that's your presence in the world or whatever. Like that's it's nice. Once you've done these things and they're there, it's nice.
exactly. They're with you forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all right. What do you want younger wrestlers to learn from you?
Oh. Throw yourself into everything, like because a lot of younger people that they come through and they say, well, I'm a big guy, so I don't need to do that. I'm a smaller guy, I'm going to be this sort of wrestler, so I don't need to do that. And they'll be in training and they'll be like, no thanks, I don't want to try that. It's like that wasn't an option when I started. You know what I mean? It was okay, we're doing this, so you do this. You want to get booked, you learn everything. Learn absolutely everything. Eventually, you're going to have your specialities and your things that you're best at and your bread and butter. But like you got to be able to have a good understanding and a knowledge about absolutely everything, because then you can take everything and you can deliver everything safely, and you can be thrown in the deep end. Because there will be times when you're thrown in the deep end. There will be times when you go 100 miles down the road to wrestle someone you don't know, and then that changes and you're wrestling a different person you don't know, and they've got a moveset that you have never, like, you know what I mean? And the match is going to be totally different to what you thought it was going to be, and you've got to be able to to be competent in every single area, basically. So yeah, that's
A lot of different variables
yeah.
to prepare for. Yeah.
Prepare for the unexpected.
So I don't know if I've asked you this question before, but if you could be an animal, what animal would you be?
You might have done. Yeah, I think I might have said something like a wolf or a lion, or so someone who's not scared to make their own path or whatever. That's probably the best answer I can give to tie it into everything I said.
All right, cool. So now I want to ask this because I know that you mentioned that you're on TV, and so you're interested in that type of stuff and storytelling and whatever. I have a wrestling cartoon that I just started with a pro wrestler, TKO Dean, and it's called Dream Team. And so it's going to be my coach character and then his character, and we're going to be like a tag team. And I found some other pro wrestlers that are going to be, recurring guests and whatever. Is that something you'd be interested in doing? And you could either be yourself or you could be, a cartoon wolf.
No, 100%. I'd love to do that, man. Like I say, my favourite things are like catchphrases and some of the things I say. And, people plan their matches. I plan my match, but I plan my catchphrases as well. Like, okay, when I do this, I'm going to say this one. I mean, you know what I mean? So, yeah, something like that. Like I can lend my voice and lend some of the funny things I can say. Absolutely, man. I'd love to do that, man.
Okay, awesome. So I will definitely be in touch with you on that, and I'll get a script written up. And, you don't have to do it exactly to the script. Just kind of like go with what you feel, fits your tone best and whatever. But
any opportunity to throw my British slang to like
awesome.
an American audience, it probably sounds like nonsense. So I've got to take it.
Awesome. Do you want your character to be like a cartoon version of you, or do you want it to be a cartoon wolf?
I'd love to be a cartoon version of me. It's your cartoon. Okay. I'll do what you asked, but I'd love to do like a little cartoon.
All right, I got you. I'll work on that. Cool. So remind us on what events you have coming up. You have something, you said February 7th?
Yeah, February 7th in Great Yarmouth, DOA. It will be on TV eventually. It won't be live, but it will be, follow my social media and you'll see the updates from that. That'll be big. There's another big DOA show coming up. There's two big ones in February. One in Yarmouth on the 7th on Saturday, and another one in Ely on the 20th on Friday night. So yeah, there'll be two very big nights. Awesome. February 15th, I'll come back to UBW, the place I call home. I'll be making some kind of appearance in some kind of way. I don't know how much I can say, but
All right, cool. Well, lots of good things in the works then,
Yeah,
and we'll definitely have you on again. Is there anything else you want to share before we go?
yeah. There was a couple of bits. This one's
Oh
going to
yeah, of
sound
course, go
great.
for it.
It might sound a bit come out of left field. You might have seen this on my story last night. There was a bit of back and forth between me and some horses, let's say. And basically, the long and the short is it's been going on for a few years now. Where I've gone to a show. It's like a nice like a charity thing, like for horses that when they've done their racing days and things like that. And I took it upon myself one year to go there and. In typical bad guy fashion, I grabbed the mic. I let everybody know how much I hate horses, and it erupted from there. And there's been a lot of back and forth on social media over the years since then. I've gone there 3 times now and let everybody know how much I hate horses. I had a fight with a horse. Some say it was a guy in a horse suit thing, but I think that's a lie. It was a horse. I had a fight with him on Bounty Castle, and yeah, they didn't do their thing last year. They must have been scared by me. But this year on 4th of July, actually, is a significant date for the Americans.
Yeah, I think it's like the 250th or something like that. I don't know. Like the 250th year of America.
Oh yeah.
But I could be wrong on that. It might be, I don't know, but I think it's 250. It could be more, but I think it's very like small amount of time.
70,
Yeah.
70, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's. So I Hate Horses Part 4 is coming up on
Okay.
July 4th, and just want to let everybody across the pond and everywhere else know that like these horses they've had it, mate. Like, I'm coming for these horses.
All right. So I'm gonna make and put into this a cartoon version of you fighting a horse.
That sounds like a plan, man.
Yeah, wrestling a horse probably. Yeah, in the ring, and I'll have you probably getting the pin.
Nice. That's good booking, man.
Yeah, because you got to win. I can't let you lose. Against a cartoon horse. I mean, I'm writing the storyline, so it really doesn't make any sense to make you lose. We want to make you
can't do me like that.
win.
You're not fighting horses, man. You can't do me like that. Yeah. The other couple of bits I'd like to mention is just National Eczema Society. I might have spoke about that last time I was on. Did a big thing for that. After staying in hospital for a couple of nights last year, I did a event like the show that I was on let me do my charity thing, and we had like a QR code on every seat. We haven't ironed out exactly where and what and when, but definitely this year on my social media there'll be updates. Like I want to do something again for National Eczema Society. We're talking about stuff like that, with me being basically an ambassador for them and making money for them.
Okay, absolutely. Do you go a little more in depth as to what they do?
Yeah, they're the biggest charity organisation in the UK when it comes to eczema. Eczema, I think it might be how you pronounce it in America.
Eczema. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's a weird spelling. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's something I had since I was like 15. I used to keep it quiet. I used to cover it up pretty well, and then I never would have thought I would have ended up in hospital with it, but that happened around April last year. Spent a short stay in hospital, and then while I was in hospital, I thought I'd like to do something positive with it. I'd like to turn a negative into a positive. Reached out to National Eczema Society. They got me my first radio interview on 92.6, and we done a show. Well, I was already on a show, but the place I call home, UBW, they let me do my charity thing on the show, and we raised some money for that. And I've been in talks with them recently about just regularly being like an ambassador and doing some things for them. So yeah, I definitely haven't ironed out exactly what and when, but I definitely want to do some charity-based stuff for them again and raise some more money for them.
All right, cool. If you have a link or whatever, we can put that in the description as well. And then what we should do for the next one is come up with like, I don't know, different topics, like subtopics within that, and then we can spend some time like, I don't know, highlighting the benefits of what they do or something. Like there's got to be a way where we can use this as a way to get attention to that and towards other causes.
It's similar to
whatever.
To them, because like our shows were like they're very family oriented, and I thought there's a lot of people in the crowd that might benefit from that. There might be kids who sort of suffer with it, who they might feel better knowing that like I deal with it as well, and there's a lot of families and people that might benefit from advice on how to deal with it. There might be helpful, useful links and tips and things like that. But yeah, I think wrestling is a good place to advertise stuff like that, you know.
For sure. Because it's all attention and sales and being over the top and promotion and yeah. All right, cool. So we'll definitely have you on again. And then is there anything else that you
one more thing.
bring up?
There's one last thing I wanted to mention.
Of course.
On my right shoulder here, I've got some really, really good artwork of myself. Really, really talented, exceptional artist. I'll send you the link to her artist page if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Other wrestlers, other DOA wrestlers as well. But she's done loads of different artwork of all different things. But she's got a public art page that I'd love to share.
All right. It's probably going to be over your left shoulder because it's going to switch when I flip the camera.
Okay.
It's going to at least be on the left of the audience, you know. So it might still be your right, but it's going to be like flipped around.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you confusing
me. Yeah, kind of like mirror, like it's going to mirror back, you know. So that way it's like the way that you see it as opposed to, you know, how I'm seeing it right now through the camera.
Right.
If that makes sense. But yeah. All right, cool. So after you have those matches in February, will probably be another time we could do episode 3.
Yeah, anytime you want me back on, man, I'll be happy to come back on. I love doing interviews and stuff like that, and you know, I think it's good to give people a chance to get to know me as well. And yeah, I love
of course,
it.
Awesome. It's good to have you on. Thank you for making the time today, and we'll do another one soon.
Brilliant, man. No, thank you. That's all.
All right, enjoy your day.
Thank you too, man.
Vinnie Kray. All right.
See you, man.
Bye.
They say cartoons ain't real life, but life been feeling real cartoon lately. Woke up from a bad dream, still swinging like it's real. Doctor said slow down, I said watch me get the deal. From hospital beds to the ropes and the lights. Turn pain into purpose, turn losses to fights. I ain't the biggest, I ain't the meanest, but I show up every day, yeah, consistency genius. Headband says coach, but I'm still learning too. Life tagged me in, said what you gon' do? I was down on the mat, crowd quiet, heart loud. Then a hand reached out through the noise of the crowd. Mask face, no fear, that's my brother right there. When the bell rings once, yeah, we both still care. Dream team, yeah, we came from the bottom. 2 belts up, whole world watching. Tag me in when I'm tired, I got 'em. Tag 'em in when I'm stuck, no problem. Dream team, yeah, it's more than the ring. It's comeback stories, hope with a swing. If you fall, get up, that's the thing.
Break it up, back off now! I said break, keep it clean, back to your corners.
Little kid watching saying coach, is it fake? I said pain's real, wins real, so not this ain't. Life body slammed me, tried to keep me down. I rolled through the doubt, heard the count, broke the sound. TK don't talk much, let the silence hit. Mask on, scars out, yeah, the violence lived. He been where the dark don't come with a map. So when he stands next to me, I know he's strapped. Not with guns, nah, with grit and belief. We're sweating the work and truth in the speech. I crack jokes, cause fear, hate, laughter. He bring the edge, I bring the after. Crouch and dreams like it's something you earn. Every bruise got a lesson if you're willing to learn. From coma dreams to the gold on my waist. Yeah, the past try to hold me, I escape. Dream team, yeah, we came from the bottom.
Take that! Not so tough now!
Tag 'em in when I'm stuck, no problem. Dream team, yeah, it's more than the ring. It's broken confidence, learning to sing. If you fall, get up, that's the thing. We don't quit, nah, we just tag in. Look, everybody wanna be champ, till it's time to get pinned by life. That's when you learn who really on your corner. This for the kids feeling small in their room. For the grown-ups still scared of their dreams. They postpone for the nights you said tomorrow too much. For the times you almost quit but you held on a touch. If you solo right now, that's cool, that's fine. But the bell gon' ring, you gon' need someone sometime. So build your dream team, even if it's just you. Cause believe, tag me in before I ever knew. Dream team, yeah, we came from the bottom. 2 hearts strong, yeah, we both been forgotten. Tag me in when I'm tired, I got him. Tag him in when I'm stuck, no problem. Dream team, hear the crowd when we rise. From the dark to the lights, that's life. If you fall, get up, rewrite the scene. Welcome to the show. This, that dream team. Dream team.
Thank you to my sponsor, Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. Tonight proved that you pause, you breathe, and you finish the sentence. We did that, we finished
You
it.
looked unstoppable out there.
I didn't quit. Coma dreams prove comebacks are real. Thank you, coach. I told y'all, no matter how deep it gets, wake up and fight.
Coma dreams stayed with me. They reminded me not to take any day for granted. Just being healthy, training, and showing up is something to be thankful for.
I didn't expect this, but coma dreams actually hit me. Watching Coach go through that made me realize how fragile life is and why you don't waste your shot. This isn't a movie, it's life. It is what it is.
You know, I didn't expect to get hit this hard by a film, but Coma Dreams just wrecked me in the best way. The way it showed someone fighting their way back, step by step, it felt honest, like rolling here on the mats.
All right, I watched Coma Dreams, and I'm going to tell you, Coach's recovery, that was truly inspiring. That's a story worth watching.
I've chased titles my whole life. Coma Dreams reminded me the real prize is waking up and getting another chance. I'm grateful. Thank you, Coach.
I've been knocked down more times than I can count. Coma Dreams reminded me, you never quit, you keep standing back up. Shout out to Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. We finished the sentence and we finished the fight. Thank you, Coach.
Congratulations on the win. What's the message tonight?
Train by day, Coma Dreams by night, all day.